Okay, so let's be real for a second. I put on a hoodie when the temperature drops below 60 degrees. If it hits freezing, I am essentially a burrito of blankets complaining about the draft. I am not built for the cold. I am built for, I don't know, mild springs, controlled climates. But then you have the Siberian Husky. These guys are out there looking at a thermometer that says negative 50 degrees Celsius, which is, by the way, negative 60 Fahrenheit, a number that shouldn't even exist. And they're just chilling, literally. They aren't shivering, they aren't crying for their mothers. They're probably thinking, hey, nice day for a jog. It makes no sense. If I walked outside in that temperature, I would be a human popsicle in roughly 3 minutes. I'd be a stat, a cautionary tale. But a Husky thrives in it. They were bred by the Chukchi people in northeastern Siberia, specifically to run long distances in weather that would kill a car battery. So how? Is it magic? Are they alien technology wrapped in fur? Nope, it's biology. But it's biology so weird and so specialized that it kind of feels like cheating. First off, let's talk about the fashion, or well, the fur. You look at a husky and you think, okay, yeah, lots of hair, big deal. But it's not just hair, it's high-tech engineering. It's a double coat. And I don't mean they just have a lot of it. I mean they are wearing 2 completely different types of jackets at the same time. The bottom layer, the undercoat, is this dense, wavy, super soft fluff. It's basically cashmere on steroids. It traps air right against the skin, and air, believe it or not, is an amazing insulator. It's the same principle as those fancy double-paned windows or that expensive puffer jacket you bought and never wear. That trapped air creates a thermal barrier, keeping the dog's body heat in and the death cold out. Then you've got the top layer, the guard hairs. These are straight, slightly oily, and tough. Their job isn't to keep the dog warm, it's to protect the fluffy warm layer. They break the wind, they repel water, they keep the snow off the skin. Actually, here's a wild fact for you. The insulation on a husky is so efficient that snow doesn't even melt on their fur. You'll see pictures of huskies sleeping in a snowbank completely covered in powder, and they aren't wet. If they were losing heat, that snow would melt. They'd get wet, and then they'd freeze. But the heat stays inside the dog. The snow sits on top like, well, I guess I'll just hang out here. So while I'm losing heat through the top of my head just by thinking too hard, these guys are sealed units. But what about the face? That's the part I always wonder about. I mean, you can wear all the coats you want, but your nose is gonna freeze, right? Not if you're a husky. You ever see a husky sleeping? They do this thing called the Siberian swirl or the fox curl. They tuck their nose right under their tail. And that tail isn't just for wagging or knocking over coffee mugs. It's a built-in scarf. It's incredibly bushy. When they curl up, the tail covers the nose and mouth. This does 2 things. 1, it keeps the nose warm, obviously. But 2, and this is the genius part, it traps the warm air they exhale. So when they breathe back in, they aren't sucking in sharp, negative 50-degree air that would freeze their lungs. They're breathing in pre-warmed, recycled air. It's like they have their own personal HVAC system. They're recycling their own breath to stay alive. Meanwhile, I hyperventilate if I walk into a walk-in freezer. Now, we gotta talk about the feet, the paws. This is the part that freaks me out. Imagine walking barefoot on ice for hours. Your toes would be gone. Goodbye, toes, it was nice knowing you. But a husky's paws are different. First, they have fur between the toes. It's like wearing socks, but the socks are attached to your skin. It protects the sensitive skin and gives them grip so they don't wipe out on the ice. But the real magic is happening inside the leg. It's this thing called a countercurrent heat exchange. Okay, stay with me. I'm going to try to explain this without sounding like a textbook. In my arm, my weak human arm, the blood pumps from my heart, goes down to my hand, gets cold, and then comes back up. If it's cold enough, my body says, cut the losses, shut down the hand, and I get frostbite. In a husky, the arteries carrying the hot blood from the heart run right next to the veins carrying the cold blood back from the paws. They touch. So the hot blood going down warms up the cold blood coming up. By the time the blood hits the paw, it's cooler, so the dog doesn't lose as much heat to the snow. And by the time the blood comes back to the heart, it's been warmed up again, so it doesn't shock the internal organs. It's a heat recycler. It's genius. It keeps the core warm and the paws just warm enough to not freeze. It's biological efficiency at its finest. Evolution really showed off with that one. So they've got the coat, the scarf, the boots, but you can't run a car on an empty tank, right? Huskies have a metabolism that scientists still don't fully understand, and frankly, it makes me jealous. If I tried to run 100 miles, I would need to eat like 6 pizzas, and I'd still collapse. Huskies, when they're working hard, running those sleds, their bodies switch gears. Normally, mammals burn glycogen, that's stored sugar, for energy. When you run out of glycogen, you hit the wall. You crash. You bonk. But huskies, they seem to be able to switch over to burning fat directly, almost exclusively, without tapping out their sugar reserves. They become fat-burning machines, and they can do this while running day after day after day. They don't get tired the way we do. They don't hit that wall. It's like they have a hybrid engine. They start on gas and then switch to electric, but the battery never dies. It's incredible. And a little annoying, honestly. I look at a donut and get tired. So, yeah, that's how they do it. They are wrapped in a double-layer waterproof duvet. They have a tail that doubles as a face mask. Their blood vessels are plumbing geniuses that recycle heat, and their metabolism is basically a fusion reactor. They are built for a world that wants to kill them, and they love it. They see a blizzard and get the zoomies. Me, I'm gonna go turn up the thermostat. I think it's a little drafty in here. Thanks for watching. If you're a husky owner, go hug your dog. If you're not, go buy a sweater. You need it. See ya.